Our big story is about the thousands upon thousands of Oregonians who fell behind on rent during the pandemic and right now are praying that the government swoops in to help before they get evicted. I know, it sounds dire. But we should note this week did bring some relief. First, on Tuesday, for instance, the Oregon Senate approved Senate Bill 278. Now, that bill still needs to be signed by the governor, I should add. But if it is, when it's signed, it will extend the state's moratorium on evictions by 2 whole months. It was supposed to end on July 1st. Now it doesn't end until September 1st. But, and this is an important but, this extension only covers renters who have applied for assistance from the state and are now waiting for their money. So if you have not applied, if you are behind on rent and you have not applied, you need to do that now. Go to OregonRentalAssistance.org. That link is on your screen. Now, at the same time, there's another big headline today. The CDC extended the national eviction moratorium by 1 month. And they did that because, well, this isn't just an Oregon problem. This is a problem nationwide. That being said, it is up to each state to get that money to its renters. And here in Oregon, we have a big problem. So I asked Maggie Vespa to come in and talk to us about it.
Yeah, Dan, happy to do it. So basically, simply put, there is a huge backlog in dispensing rental assistance, hence the super at the bottom of your screen that says the rent assistance backlog. Basically, Oregon has the money, but the state is having trouble physically getting that money into renters' hands, which is obviously key. You might remember back in December of 2020, we did a piece that we kind of called The Face of Evictions. And I interviewed these 3 Oregon renters who were on the brink of losing their homes if the state didn't keep its moratorium on evictions in place. So this week with this news, these headlines in the news, I reached back out to them and I caught up with this guy over on the far end, Ryan Bowser. So spoiler alert, as of tonight, he and his family are still stuck in limbo.
It's terrifying every single day. You try not to think about it too much.
For more than a year, Ryan Bowser has been worried that he'll lose his home. The father of 4, including his new son, Illidan, born just last week, is exhausted.
You know, I'm working 100%, but I'm still relying on other people to make sure that me and my family are not living out in a car.
We first met Bowser back in December 2020. He was one of 3 Oregon renters who opened up about the fear of being evicted amid the pandemic. Fast forward to this week. Not much has changed. He and his girlfriend still live in their Corvallis apartment. They still work full-time as janitors at Oregon State University. The problem is, when schools shut down, the couple was forced to pay for childcare. That sucked their rent budget dry.
Yeah, we're about 11 grand in the hole right now. It's an insane amount of money that you save by having your kids in school. So.
Bowser knows relief should be on the way. Last month, he applied for rental assistance, federal COVID relief money that the state has promised to dispense at some point.
We applied on the 22nd. Our application hasn't even been reviewed yet after a month.
Bowser is far from alone. According to a live data dashboard compiled by the state, 10,830 Oregon households have applied for rental assistance, citing job losses and hardship tied to the coronavirus pandemic. The average request per household, around $6,900. And the state is making its way through these applications slowly. Oregon officials have distributed roughly $200 million to qualifying renters. That's just over a third of the money they have or will soon have at their disposal. Doling out the rest will take time, likely months.
Can we just start with what is the reason for the backlog?
Yep, absolutely. Let's dive into that.
Andrea Bell is the director of housing stabilization for Oregon Housing and Community Services, the state agency in charge of dispensing this money. She says, point blank, the need is daunting.
Prior to the last 12 months or 14 months, OHCS was administering about $15 to $17 million annually in rental assistance. Over the past 14 months, our partners and our local administrators have administered about $186 million.
$186 million compared to $17 million, a more than tenfold increase. And that, Bell says, was before the latest federal aid package, which came down in May. Adding to the complexity, renters can apply for assistance through a number of ways. They can go through local community agencies or directly through the state. The best way to do that? This website, OregonRentalAssistance.org.
Protection for renters is not automatic. You must provide your landlord with a declaration of financial hardship.
It even comes with instructional videos to explain what qualifies renters for assistance, and it has a live chat function where users can ask officials for help. Despite this online presence, the system is far from automatic. Every rent assistance application needs to be reviewed by a human. And frankly, there just aren't enough. Oregon is investing in surge capacity employees to beef up local and state staffing levels. I asked how much more staff they need. Depends on the agency, says Bell. But she added this.
So Maggie, just for a little bit of detail here, we're seeing some of our local administrators produce and pay out for applications in a month what they were doing in a year.
Bell says officials are doing everything they can. Recently, the state and the feds dealt some major help. Tuesday, Oregon lawmakers voted to extend the state's eviction moratorium through the end of August, as long as renters have applied for assistance. And Thursday, the CDC extended their national moratorium through the end of July. Lawmakers argued without that protection, roughly 6 million American renters are at risk of being evicted. Many of them are waiting for this federal aid that's stuck in state backlogs. Here in Oregon, officials are now hoping this 2-month extension will give them time to gain some ground. But people with experience in this world are worried.
Do you have confidence this will be figured out by September, by the new deadline?
No.
For the No.
Katrina Holland is the executive director of Join, a housing assistance agency in Portland. Her take, America's rental assistance system has been underfunded and understaffed for decades. It struggles to keep up with normal demand. Holland says recent record-setting investments in housing have helped Oregon's system start to play catch-up.
Prior to that investment, depending on which agencies you're talking to, we were turning down 8 out of 9 folks who were requesting assistance because either A, we didn't have enough staff, B, we had run out of money.
Early on in the pandemic, Holland says advocates warned lawmakers the system would crumble under the weight of this need. And now thousands of renters like Ryan Bowser are stuck in this backlog, wondering whether they'll be evicted while they wait.
And if you think about it, in the private industry, we would never tolerate that kind of inefficiency. Never. Never. This is what the real rent assistance system looks like.
Okay, so the main takeaway here, and everyone we talked to said this, if you are sitting at home right now and you know, or even you think you might be, you're not even sure, that you're on the verge of being evicted, that you're behind on rent, apply for rent assistance. Apply, apply, apply. Do not think that the backlog makes this pointless. It's the only way to protect yourself from being evicted. And we should mention today, by the way, because this story was Oregon-centric, the state of Washington today did the same thing. Governor Jay Inslee announced that their moratorium on evictions will last until the end of September. But in Washington, you do have to start paying your rent on August 1st, or again, like Oregon, have signed up for assistance, Dan. So a lot of changes this week.
Got it. As far as Oregon is concerned, though, a question I kind of had watching that.
Yeah.
Is there another way to do this? You know, advocates warned lawmakers that this problem would happen.
Totally. And so their idea, their sort of alternative idea, was to dispense COVID aid tied to rent to the landlords directly, not the renters, because simply put, there are fewer landlords. You know, there's not one landlord for every renter. So their suggestion was to have the landlords apply and say, hey, I have 10 or 20 or 100 tenants who frankly can't pay rent. But we're told that lawmakers basically wanted to stick with this traditional model because some of the infrastructure was there. So here we are.
And we'll see where it goes. Maggie, thank you.
Sure.
Now, since we're talking about pandemic relief,